What's up, everyone? It is time to review the latest in Ti West's X trilogy, Maxine. The movie takes place after the events of X, with Mia Goth's Maxine trying to become a star in Hollywood in the 1980s. She's been very successful in the adult film realm, but Maxine has her sights set on bigger things, and the first step to getting there is booking a legit big screen film. She does, but as she gears up to make the most of her big break, a mysterious serial killer starts striking a little too close to home. I love X, I love Pearl, and now I love Maxine as well. I actually think this might be one of the very best film trilogies out there for a number of reasons, but one of the biggest of the bunch being how Ti West connects all three films, but while also making sure that each offers up a wholly distinct experience. X leaned into 70s grindhouse. With Pearl, it was 1950s Technicolor classics, and now Maxine embraces the psychosexual thrillers of 80s cinema. Each one of the movies is absolutely oozing with reverence for filmmaking and the evolution of it, and by embracing those different styles, West ensures that the series always remains fresh with each new installment, and that's one of the most important things when you're continuing a film franchise. Also, don't ask me to rank these three films because I am very much willing to bet that my answer is going to change depending on my mood and what I feel like watching at any given moment. And I think that's the most beautiful thing. We have three very different films in the same film franchise, and all three of them are incredibly well crafted. I will say, though, there is one aspect of Maxine that I think might be more ambitious than X and Pearl. So with X and Pearl, they're more contained stories. Maxine, on the other hand, unfolds in Hollywood, and West makes sure that you feel the scope of the industry and the city. I did think all the locations were very successfully used, but some of my absolute favorite moments in Maxine were the ones taking place on the studio lot where she's filming her movie. Obviously, there is tension and unnerving situations unfolding there, but I still thought that I could feel to my core the joy with which West plays with familiar studio lot components. For example, and I know this might sound simple and trivial, but one of the very first shots in the movie is of a giant stage door opening, oh so slowly, and between the framing, the sound design, and also how West takes his time with the shot in the edit, it just becomes so incredibly powerful and atmospheric. With one simple shot, he manages to set the tone and style of the movie so well, and also tease what Maxine is up against in the story. That being said, I don't think we highlight enough the fact that West edits these movies as well, and his work in that respect is on point in X and Pearl, but there are a couple of moments in Maxine where the editing choices just feel so specific to him and his voice, and it just further highlights what a strong handle he has on his vision for this movie and the series overall. Now going into the cast here, and of course I must begin with Mia Goth, who is just absolutely exquisite yet again. It doesn't take her long to take your breath away with her work here, beginning with an especially well done audition scene. Maxine obviously does hold on to certain qualities we saw in X, but the character has evolved quite considerably, which isn't really much of a surprise when you recall what she went through on that farm. Her confidence and determination in Maxine are just especially intoxicating and magnetizing, but I think the quality of Goth's work in this film that impressed me most is how she was able to hold so tight to those qualities, but without sacrificing the character nuances needed to keep Maxine just grounded enough. Yet again, I am just blown away by her work in this film. That being said, it is not easy to take the spotlight from Mia Goth, but I do think that's what makes these supporting performances all the more impressive, because there's a pretty large supporting ensemble roster here, and so many people manage to make an impression with sometimes mere minutes of screen time, like Lily Collins, for example, who has one of the most memorable scenes of the whole film. I was also especially taken by Elizabeth Debicki as Elizabeth Bender. She's the director on Maxine's movie. In a somewhat similar sense, but also quite different given her circumstances and what she's working towards, she also exudes this wildly intoxicating confidence and authority when tackling her work. And I found that those qualities, paired with how Maxine is using those qualities, made the two of them and their conversations especially exciting to track. I couldn't get enough of their dynamic. While I wish I had time to shout out every single member of this cast, I'll wrap it up with one more, and it is Moses Sumney, who played Leon, one of Maxine's friends in the movie. And right there is another example of an actor making the absolute most of minimal screen time between natural screen presence and also sky-high chemistry with Mia Goth. Sumney manages to ensure that Leon becomes one of the characters we are most invested in and care about most. I was very impressed with his work here. With that, I am going to score Maxine, and I am giving it 4.5 Deweys out of 5 on the Dewey Decimovie scale, which I'm pretty sure is what I gave X and Pearl as well. I absolutely adore this franchise. I find it to be a movie and movie-making lover's dream with these wildly fascinating fame and success-seeking characters at its core. Just like X and Pearl, Maxine features top-tier work from every single department, something that is important to the success of any film out there, but it does feel especially vital for one looking to pay homage to a specific style and era of cinema. It is just so abundantly clear to me that Ti West is the kind of filmmaker who has a very clear vision and jumps into the filmmaking process knowing exactly how to execute it. I'm so impressed by his work across the board, but now that we have these 3 films, I just have to say I am especially wowed by his work here. I felt this way after seeing Pearl, and now I feel it again after seeing Maxine. I think it is a prime example of a high-quality series expansion and character evolution. Loved it.